morning, y'all, and welcome to the Coffee Break Net on the W6EK Repeater located in Auburn, California. The Coffee Break Net, where the sun is always shining, the birds are singing, and the fish are jumping. This net is sponsored by the Sierra Foothills Amateur Radio Club in Northern California, and we're here every day of the week from 7:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. Pacific Time. Please welcome your net control host and conversation facilitator for today's Coffee Break Net, Brian, AI6US, checking in from beautiful Meadow Vista, California, IA. Let's get the Coffee Break Net underway. Sure hopes to get my picking up truck and old hound dog back real soon like.
Hey, good morning, everybody. I'm Brian, AI6US, in beautiful Meadow Vista, California. Just have an announcement to make before we get the Coffee Break Net underway, because I know many of you do not tune in on the weekends, but today, of course, is Monday, February 22nd, 2026. And Ray, KK6AM, passed peacefully Saturday evening with his daughter Christina and son-in-law Thomas at his side. Just want to acknowledge Ray and just let folks know. Rest in peace, Ray. If you would like to reach out to Christina, she is good on QRZ, her physical address. If you want to drop a card or anything, 8K6DU is Christina on QRZ. So yeah, let's keep the family in our thoughts and our prayers. And, yeah, rest in peace, Ray. Well, good morning. Welcome to the Coffee Break Net on the W6EK Repeater. Today is Monday, February 22nd, 2026. And glad that you're tuned in with us this morning. Let's get the Coffee Break Net underway. Let's see, today is World Peace and Understanding Day. It's also Diesel Engine Day. So all of you guys out there with the diesel, guys and gals out there with the diesel, go roll some coal on the neighbor. Today is National Banana Bread Day. What better thing can you do with a aging out banana? Turn it into delicious banana bread. Today is National Tootsie Roll Day, and today is National Play Tennis Day. And as we found out in this latest Olympics, today is Curling is Cool Day. I never really thought of curling as being cool or anything, but did you know that curling is one of the world's oldest team sports? Did not realize that till I read that in the description of today. Curling is Cool Day. Hey, good morning. Let's go ahead and get the Coffee Break Net underway with a few rounds of quick in and outs as you start your day. Quick in and outs just mean keep your hellos to under 2 minutes, please, and I will be flipping the soft egg timer. Who's out there this morning? Quick in and outs for the Coffee Break Net.
Good morning, KC8, Fox Queen Victor.
N6CKD answer 23rd, Brian.
Delta, Quebec. Rick in North Highlands.
Falls. No traffic.
Kilo Oscar 6. Kilo Oscar 6, Kilo Mike Romeo. All right, definitely a kerfuffle morning there, so we'll have some sorting to do. KO6KMR, good morning, Robert. Good morning to Larry, KO6IHJ. Good morning to KD6CDQ, Rick. Good morning to Carl, N6CKV. And good morning to, let's see, KC8, F2V. And good morning to Will, KJ5, saw somebody key up from Twin Falls, Idaho. Station from Twin Falls.
Falls, KK7, Yankee Oscar Charlie, Ron, no traffic.
All right, Ron, I believe that was Kilo 7 Yankee Oscar Charlie, or did I miss something in your prefix there, Ron?
Kilo 7, Yankee Oscar Charlie.
All right, Ron, yeah, sometimes these internet connections cut off things. We will be right back to you in a moment for your no traffic, but we'll get a hello from you in just a moment, Ron. All right, did I miss anyone else in that group?
Good morning, Brian. W6EKW.
Ramon, good to hear you back in the country. Surprised they let you back in. KO6CKW. Good to hear you, my friend. All right, up to the top of the list, and just remember, these are quick in and outs, so please respect other people's time, and let's keep them to 2 minutes or under, please. KJ5, Golf Whiskey November. Good morning, Will.
Good morning, Brian. My sympathies go to Ray, KK6 AM, and his family. I know what it's like to lose a father and a mother. So, anyway, my sympathies go to the family there, Christina and Tom. And anyway, not doing too much here. Just thought I'd get on and say hello before I get on with my day. So, anyway, back over to you, Brian. This is KJ5 Golf Whiskey November.
All right, Will. Well, good morning to you, and you have a wonderful day ahead and wonderful week ahead. Thanks for checking in. Clearing with KJ5 Golf Whiskey November, and good morning, Mark, KC8FQV.
All right, well, good morning, KCFQV. Yeah, leave the thing get all reset before I transmit. You can hear sort of the beeps and that. Yeah, 28 degrees over here, and yeah, the white stuff came back. They said Monday morning it would come. They were right. It came, well, we had a little bit yesterday, on and off. There it snowed, then it got washed away a little bit by the rain or whatever we had, and then today it came back, and yeah, when I looked at the Ohio Department of Transportation has cameras, and of course I think they also they don't, but your cellular carriers use your pinging of your cell phone, and they can give speed, and most all the freeways were yellow instead of green in areas. It was just a interesting morning for driving. I didn't drive, but I was looking at the OGO cameras, and there was places where the roads weren't cleared. You know, they were cleared, and other places, they were clear. So, well, everything went good for the weekend. Stopped that. I stopped. So, I'll send it back to net control, and yeah, we'll be back tonight. You'll have that mode net. I'm trying to think if you guys have net. I got to look at your website. You have net on the weekend or not? But I know you have 7 or 5 days a week at least, and 7 days a week with the coffee shop or coffee break. So back it comes, KC8FQV.
All right. A lot of people don't know where folks are checking in from, so that's Mark from Ohio reporting the snow is back on. And yes, this evening, the All Nodes Net, 6 Pacific, that's 9 p.m. Eastern here on node 51018, Echolink and connected nodes. That's where folks talk about anything node-related. All right, clearing with Mark, KC8FQV, and good morning, Carl, in 6CKV.
Hey, good morning, Brian, and everyone else out there. It's the 23rd, Brian. You said 22nd in the intro.
and the sun's starting to peek through, so we might have a good day today. I have to make a Sam's Club run. Other than that, not much exciting going on.
You know, I usually just have my date autofill here, and I don't know what happened. Yes. Boy, I am not doing too good on the days of the week or even the year lately. Well, good morning to you there, Carl, and hope that you have a good outing. Looks like we're going to have a nice weather day ahead.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to today. I'll do some walking and get my legs straightened up for springtime when I have to do some work.
Oh, yeah. After hibernating all winter, the bear has to get out and stretch. Well, you have a wonderful day, Carl. Good morning to Ruth, and you have a great Monday ahead.
7-3, everyone. Have a good Monday to W6EKV and idle in.
Will do. Thank you, sir. And good morning, Rick, KD6CDQ.
Good morning, Brian Internet. This is KD6CDQ, Rick in beautiful downtown suburban North Highland. Sure is nice to see the sunshine once again. And I would like to say we're going to miss Ray, kind of miss the gravelly voice he had, and along with some of the intriguing mystery questions he posed to us on Thursday night's net. So rest in peace, Ray. And beyond that, not much going on with me today. I've been up all night being crazy. What else? That's life for you when you're retired. So everybody have yourself a great day today. And this is KD6CDQ, Rick telling you 73s.
All right, Rick. Good morning to you as you turn in for the evening. And yes, indeed, I enjoy being up all night. I suppose if I were single, it would be a lot easier to get away with. Seems that my business days are less filled with business nowadays, and it's more of what I want to do with my spare time. And sometimes you just get more done and in the nighttime hours. Rick, have a wonderful day. Thanks for checking in. And anybody out there listening, Rick is in a beautiful little suburb of Sacramento Valley, and to call that a bustling community, well, it's a bedroom community, just a bunch of homes and just a very nice community. But yeah, I love his description of his town. KD6CDQ, AI6US. And good morning to Larry, KO6IHJ, who lives in a similar area.
Good morning, Brian. Good morning, Coffee Break Net, KO6IHJ. I'm sitting here with Tom, and we're discussing on what we're going to do today. He says we're going to use the smallest radio with the biggest amplifier, whatever that means.
Okay. Well, so some little QRP rig, maybe, little matchbox device, and that big Henry 2K sitting on the floor. Well, at least I know you're going to be in a warm shack.
Roger that. Enough tubes in here light up, we can have a barbecue. Other than that, nothing. No sunspots today, so I know you've seen it. It does not look pretty on the HF side. So we're going to sit back and just play radio with some power. See if that helps.
Well, don't let the sunspot numbers deceive you. There was quite a bit of activity overnight, and you just need to pick your bands carefully. Yes, 20, 15, 17, 10 is going to be local or inactive, but definitely 80, 160, 40 meters, there are opportunities. So pick your antennas and pick your bands carefully. It just isn't going to drop in your lap this morning, Larry. KO6IH, AI6US. You have a great day.
You as well, Brian. Everybody have a blessed day. And yeah, I got Indonesia, so it's worked a little bit on 40. KO6ISJ 73 all.
Well, you just let Tom explain to you how 40 meters works. It doesn't really take a ton of those sunspots to give some propagation on 40, 80, 160. There are other things at play. Good morning, Robert. KO6KMR.
Well, good morning to you and all on the net. On Saturday, I attended extra class field day at Jan Park. Really enjoyed that. That was great information. Got lots of information on equipment setups and antennas mainly, and also we did a lot on digital, which was pretty interesting. And other than that, that's all I did this weekend. Well, I did study the extra class information again, and went to the gym, and basically going to do that same thing today. And other than that, that's my day. Over.
Yeah, the labs that are part of the workshops definitely are great opportunities to maybe try something new, or I know in some different classes they build antennas, other things get on the radio, and yes, for the extra introduction. I think they introduced you to WSJT and PSK or FSK?
Yeah, that is correct. Over.
Well, very good. Yeah, glad that looked like you had some decent weather for it as well, and glad to hear that was an enjoyable experience for you. Robert, you have a wonderful day. It sounds like a rinse and repeat type of day, but those are kind of good. They just happen. KO6KMR, AI6US, 73.
Thank you very much. Out.
Hey, good morning, Ron. KK7YOC. Thank you for checking in this morning.
Morning, and thank you for running the net. This is Ron, KK7YOC from Twin Falls. Hey, that northeast is just getting pounded by that serious storm there. Here in Twin Falls in southern Idaho, usually February is our worst month for weather, but this afternoon it's going to be a gorgeous spring day. I'll probably get out and do some stuff with my dog. Nothing big happening today. 73.
All right, Ron. Well, we know that on the West Coast here, if we don't have a hard winter, we usually have a lot of pests and a lot of things that, and then the threat of wildfires. So definitely we have the impacts. Yeah, I did not watch the news this morning. Did that big storm hit the Northeast like they were predicting, and is it as hard as they thought, or how intense is it?
It is as hard as they thought. Already have a foot of snow in New York, expecting another 10 inches. But it's the depth and breadth of the storm that's the problem. It's pounded several states, and now it's getting windy. KK7YOC.
All right, Ron. Well, thanks for the report on that. Yeah, I knew that they were expecting pretty intense for a couple of days straight, so we wish the best for them, absolutely. Thanks for checking in, Ron. Enjoy your springtime weather in Twin Falls. I think that just makes the grass grow earlier and taller. We'll catch up with you another time. Good morning, Ramon, KO6EKW, back from your vacation. How was it?
Good morning, Brian. Good morning to the net. First of all, my sympathies to Christina and the rest of the family. And most importantly, blue skies to Ray. I'm glad to be back home. That's all I can say. It was a busy trip, Brian. Lots of family time. Stayed mostly in the capital, which you know I really don't like staying there, but it's all good. I met with some of the 4th and 5th generation family members.
great. Glad you got that family time in, and what, holla every day?
Negative, but I did try it, tried to watch my sugar, but yeah, it looks so good, especially with that ube. By the way, the highlight of my one dive day was I finally saw an electric scallop. Some of them, they call it electric clam, but it was an awesome sight. Back to you.
Okay, nothing is coming to mind when I think of that. What, describe that electric clam for me.
Copy that. Well, it really looks like a sea urchin to me. So like thorny, spiny, but it's bright orange and black and white, and then you can see an electric current running to the length of its body. It was an awesome sight. My nephew needs to drag me out of there because I've been mesmerized, and he said I've been sitting there for 5 minutes underwater watching that. Back to you.
Well, how cool, how cool. Now, where did you go diving? And I know we need to keep this short, but where did you go diving? And was it a whole day? And what depth did you go to?
Roger that. I'll keep it. Went down to Anilao in Batangas, which is close to the capital. We went for a boat dive, 3 locations, and then when we came back, had light dinner, and went to the pier and did a night dive over there. Back to you.
How cool, how cool. I've never been a fan of night diving. I always kind of like the thought that I can turn around and see if somebody is about to take a nip out of me. I don't know, just something about night diving. So kudos to you for pulling that one off. Well, Ramon, welcome home. Glad to hear you back on the radio, and glad to hear that you had a wonderful time in the Philippines. KO6CKW, AI6US. Mabuhay.
Mabuhay, Brian. Well, may you all have a wonderful day. KO6CKW, clear. 7 trees.
Thank you, sir. 7-3. Good morning. Welcome to the Coffee Break Net. We're a little bit before 8 o'clock this morning. Let's go ahead and take another round of quick in and outs. Today is February 23rd, 2026. It's Monday. So who else is out there this morning for a quick in and out?
N2 DYI.
Whiskey 6 Juliet Charlie Zulu.
Kilo Bravo 6 Lima Uniform Victor. Good morning.
Kilo Charlie 6 Sierra Lima Echo.
KJ5 HHD.
Okay, I think one person slipped by me, but we'll find out in a moment. KJ5HHT, good morning to you, and good morning to Graydon, KC6SLE, and good morning to Brett, KAB6LUV, Brett and Company, and good morning to Jimmy, KA3VGM, and good morning to Jim, W6JCZ, and good morning to Patrick, into DYI. Who did I miss?
This is Jeff, KO6MMI.
Gonna have to help me out, Jeff, with some phonetics there. Kilo Oscar 6 Mike India, QSL?
Roger that, Brian. That's correct.
You're gonna hear a lot of that as long as you have that call. We'll be back to you in a moment, Jeff. Okay, up to the top. Remember, these are quick in and outs. And good morning, Patrick, into DYI.
Good morning, Brian, and everyone on the net.
Hope everyone's doing well. I just saw the email about Ray. Really bums me out to hear about that. I mean, he was, wow. Yeah, we had a lot of good conversations over the years that I've been around here, and just heard him on the radio earlier this week. So yeah, a bit of a shocker there.
Yes, indeed. The last time we spoke was last Wednesday morning during the net, and then I noticed he wasn't there for the for Wednesday night for the Elmer net, which I found was a little odd, but he wasn't sounding too good. Wednesday morning sounded like he had a cold or something, so I didn't think much of it. He didn't show up for Thursday's Coffee Break Net. I listened to most of it, but I didn't hear him check in, didn't see him in the log when I checked back, and then, of course, Thursday night net rolled around. I thought, man, that Ray must be really feeling bad. He didn't check in for Thursday night net, and then Friday morning didn't check in, and that's when, you know, it was just like, okay, we need to check on Ray. And, you know, the wonderful thing is, though, that that Christina and Thomas were able to be at his side, and he passed peacefully Saturday evening. So certainly sad. We have some great memories with Ray, and a lovable curmudgeon was how he was described by one person. I giggled and went, yeah, that's him.
I absolutely can't disagree with that in any way, shape, or form. Absolutely lovable and absolutely curmudgeon. Yeah, definitely a bummer, but I'm glad they were able to be there for him.
Now, in your situation, I bet you're glad you're down in North Carolina and not shoveling snow up in New York.
Not wrong. Again, yeah, they got a foot and a half so far where Melanie is. They lost power for several hours this morning. I saw it go offline at about 3 o'clock, I think, 3 in the morning, and it came back around 7:30, 7:35, something like that, and got a text, and she was like, hey, I have one of these little battery banks with an AC inverter on it. And she was like, any chance you left that here, where it is, and if it's charged? And I'm like, I can tell you where it is, but I don't remember the last time I charged it. I wouldn't trust it, but by the time that power came back. So they've got pretty high winds there, gusting between, I think she said, about 45 and 60 miles per hour. So all that plus the snow, no wonder.
Yeah, and I understand this is probably going to be one of the biggest storms to be hitting the area, and back-to-back, month-to-month. So at least probably a lot of people still have their snow shovels out from the January fall. Well, Barry, good morning to you, and thanks for checking in this morning. Anything about the All Nodes Net this evening?
Well, all I can tell you about the All Nodes Net this evening is that it will be happening as scheduled. That's about all I have.
All right, definitely has been some interesting subjects on that net as of late. So anybody interested in anything node-related, that is the net to be on. Patrick, good day to you, and may you rest comfortably knowing you don't have to wheel a snow shovel.
Yeah, I will definitely do that. I'm not as good at doing that sort of thing as I was even a few years ago, so I'm glad I don't have to. 73 Brian, AI6US, N2DYI.
All right, Patrick, good day to you. Happy Monday. Clearing with N2DYI, and Jim, welcome home in W6JCZ, and hopefully you had a great, safe trip abroad.
Good morning, Brian. Good morning, Coffee Break. Yeah, I touched down very uneventfully at around 9:40 yesterday over at San Francisco. It turns out $600 can last you an entire week in Taiwan buying breakfast, lunch, and dinner and 2 hotels.
The time is 8 a.m.
Well, depends what kind of hotel you stayed in, I suppose, but that's a good economical trip over there. Well, welcome home. Any highlight from the trip?
I know you asked something, but I was right at a turn. The APRS went off. Would you ask again? W6J, he said.
welcoming you home, and did you have a highlight of the trip?
Yeah, so on the night of Chinese New Year, we went to see what was billed as a fireworks show, but it was actually drone and fireworks show, and let's just say they set off so many fireworks that it was left foggy for around 5 minutes after the show, and haven't seen that many fireworks go off all at once for a while.
Well, you got to hand it to them. They definitely know how to. I've seen some pretty spectacular shows, especially like welcoming the New Year and different things. So yeah, they definitely know how to do that. Curious though, were there any drones launched, or was it pure pyro?
Yeah, there were drones launched. I think they had what was a 128 by 128 grid of drones with RGB lighting. So it was almost like a early 2000s cell phone resolution screen in the sky. And they, of course, they did all kinds of animations and shows with the drones.
Yeah, those drone formations are pretty darn incredible. Well, welcome home, Jim, and I'm sorry to hear that you are having to head to work. Probably you are sleep adjusting right now, but do have a great day ahead, and always great to have you on. So welcome home.
Yep, it's good to be back home. And for those in the wonder, on the way back, because you leave at around 11 p.m. and arrive at 9 p.m., you aren't supposed to sleep on the plane. So what I did was I queued up the first Tron, the second Tron, and all three Back to the Futures, and just watched them all back to back, and had a great night's sleep at the normal U.S. time. So hopefully today isn't jet lagged at all. W6J sees back to 10.
Yeah, for me during international travel, it's usually day 2 to day 3 where the brain just is like, nah, something's not right here. Have a great day, Jim. Welcome home. Clearing with W6JCZ. Good morning, Jimmy, KA3VGM.
Morning, Brian, and good morning to Jim there also. I didn't realize he was in another country, but he had a good trip back to the U.S. from China, celebrating the Chinese New Year, I guess. It happens to be the year by different animals. It's the year of the horse. So that got my attention a little bit. Anyway, it's cold back here in Pennsylvania. It says it's 29 degrees at the moment. I don't know if that's correct or not, because sometimes my temperature display does not update itself on the computer properly. But anyway, it's cold, and we're supposed to get a little bit of snow today, although nothing like those poor people up in New York. I feel bad for them. I would not want to do that, that's for sure. Back to you, Brian, AI6US from KA3VGM.
Well, I thank you for sharing that it is the year of the horse. I have been a horse owner several times in life, and I kind of like owning a boat. There's the first day and the last day are some of the happiest days of owning a horse. Now, some great trail rides and that sort of thing. Well, cold returns to Pennsylvania, and the East Coast is getting whipped. They are getting whipped hard, it sounds like. Thanks for checking in this morning, Jimmy. Anything else for the net?
No, I think I'll just start my day and listen to the rest of the net and see what everybody else has to say, other than I will say my condolences to Christina and Thomas if they are listening. Again, I
did not know Ray all that well, although I talked to him a couple of times, but he became a friend on here, and I am glad that I got to talk to him before his death. So, that's that story. Back to you, Brian. AI6US, KA3BGM.
Yes, definitely Ray will be missed. He was a constant on the repeater here, always engaging in conversation and sharing great knowledge, practical life knowledge of amateur radio, and definitely he will be missed. But certainly, our thoughts are with Christina, Thomas, and his son Steve during this time. Well, Brett, Jimmy, you have a good day ahead, and thank you for checking in, and stay on the warm side of that door for sure. Clearing with KA3VGM, and let's check in now with Brett, KB6LUV and company. Good morning.
Good morning, Brian and Coffee Break Net land. It is a beautiful Monday morning here in South Natomas, Sacramento. That orange ball in the sky has made its appearance, which is always enjoyable to see. Looks like it's going to get up to be in the mid-60s today, so might enjoy a little ride on a little red scooting through the hood. We'll see how that goes, but other than that, not a whole lot going on. A fairly normal Monday. Just doing my data center construction recruiting stuff. And then my mom, Bonnie, who is here visiting, has just been an amazing blessing to me and my wife. She's just here helping us to kind of get our house put back into some order that it had been gotten out of over the last couple of years due to my own neglect, et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, it's wonderful having her here. And by the way, Brian, thanks and blessings to you for being there for Ray and being able to just catch things at least at an early stage. So anyway, blessings to you, sir. Appreciate you.
Well, for me, it was just a good reminder to pay attention to those around us, and if something doesn't feel right, act on it. And a lot of times, we get so busy in our lives that, we have those feelings, but, we get so wrapped up in what we are doing, what our needs are, that we ignore that. And I think this was a good reminder for me to, listen and pay attention and really, care about others. A good reminder. And the real blessing here is that Christina and Thomas were able to be there with Ray, and he did not have to pass alone. And very, very blessed that we live in this community and a great amateur radio community for sure. Well, good morning to you. Good morning to Bonnie and Dee Dee, and you have a wonderful day ahead. And what is it about moms? My mom would come down and visit and bring order to my house. I thought it was orderly when she arrived, but she would leave, and you didn't feel like she just totally went through every drawer and changed everything, but it was just right.
You have cameras in my house, Brian? I'm just saying. Yeah, no, it's a blessing, and I'm just truly thankful for her. When death visits around us, it's a good also reminder to tell the people that you love them, and to just always be in touch to let them know that, because time is extremely precious. It's fleeting, and you can never gain it back. So, all right. Well, all of that said, again, everybody out there in Coffee Break Net land, please have an amazing day. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Be blessed. KB6LUV. Be of love. 73. Clear and listening.
Yeah, technology has not reached a point where we can buy time. We can extend what we have, but we cannot buy it. Have a good day there, Brett, and thanks for checking in. And good morning to Bonnie and to Dee Dee, and you have a wonderful Monday ahead. Clearing with KB6LUV. Good morning, Graydon, KC6SLE.
Good morning, Brian. Good morning, the net. Reminds me of a line out of
David Bowie song where he sings, "Time can change me, but I can't change time."
Yes, indeed. It has a way of directing us. You know, I think we have so many medical advances that can give that second chance, and very thankful for that. But it's just every moment is valuable. Good morning, Graydon. What do you have for the net this morning?
Well, I completed my conversion to StarLink over the weekend. Seems to be working very well. I'm very pleased with it thus far. I have it now feeding not only its own router. I have the StarLink router feeding the office and the ham shack, and I'm feeding the existing router and extenders that I have within the house from the StarLink as a subsystem. And it seems to be working well. I was hoping to relocate the second router, put it in a more convenient location distribution-wise underneath the house in a utility room where my internet, all my Ethernet, actually lands in a nice box. I did that yesterday, got all the equipment, made the conversion, plugged it in, and nothing came out the other end. So I troubleshooted the Ethernet lines, and they are dead. And then I got to looking at some work that had been done underneath the house by the previous owner, and I figured out the tractor chopped all the Ethernet lines off when they put a wall in.
Oh, and nothing quite as fun as patching Ethernet lines. You almost want to just pull a new one through. How frustrating to do all that work, plug it in, and no water comes out the end of the hose.
Yeah, I guess if I'd been just a little more astute, I would have tested it before I went to all the work of doing it. But I'm coming up with a plan of bypassing and if I can find where it actually transitions through the first level to the second level, it's repairable. If it's buried within the walls, I'm going to stick with Wi-Fi. But I was hoping to do Ethernet, a hardline connection down to the server in a more central location and get rid of the extenders. But it may not be practical. But, projects never quite go the way you have planned. That's why if we really knew how projects were going to go, we probably wouldn't do a lot of them.
Yeah, and I helped my brother come up with a plan for doing, he actually did fiber and Ethernet throughout his home when he built it, and I kind of helped him come up with a blueprint for his wiring. And it was kind of funny. He came back to me a couple years ago. He says, "Sure wish I had followed that blueprint." He said, we had a wire go bad, and, in the original blueprint, I noticed that you had a single run coming to a distro point, and then you fanned off at each level of the house. He said, "That was a good idea." Something that you don't hear too often from your brother.
Advice, you give them your advice, and then they do something different. I often wonder about that. They're certainly, they certainly have the right to do something different, but why did they come to you and ask for your advice to begin with?
Oh, Mom warned me about him early on in life. Well, Graydon, good morning to you. And yeah, I think you'll enjoy StarLink. If I had an option for a good land-based, reliable service, I would definitely pick it just because, more bandwidth, more up, down speed, etc. But it just doesn't exist here in the Sierra Foothills. StarLink has been a godsend. Well, good morning to you. Good morning to Grady. Good morning to Lisa. You have a wonderful week ahead.
You too, Brian. I'll get a notice out for Elmer's for the next VE session, which is coming up pretty quickly. With that, everyone have a great day. 73 KC6 SLE.
Yeah, this month's VE session came up quicker than my brain processed. Suddenly I looked at the calendar and went, oh my gosh, The VE session is a week away, and I haven't even sent out a query for signers, but we got our VE signers, and I referred everyone else to get in contact to become an Elmer. Have a wonderful day, Graydon. KC6SLE, AI6US. And Trucker Larry, good morning. KJ5, Hotel Tango.
Good morning, Ryan. Good morning, everybody on the net. My condolences for everybody affected by Ray's passing. I never got to hear him or hear him on the coffee break or any of them. I am currently in Bartow, Florida, just southwest of Lakeland, Orlando area. Woke up this morning in Jacksonville. It was 40 degrees. And when I left and started heading down here, everybody was bundled up like it had snowed. But I had to come here, drop my trailer, grab another one, and I'm going to Gaston, South Carolina, just south of Columbia, to grab some pellets and come back down here to Plant City, Florida, to deliver Wednesday. A friend of mine is in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, close to Jersey on the east side. And he got 9.5 inches, and the bottling company in Connecticut said that they would be closed today, so he is sitting until tomorrow. So he was all weekend and today. Hope he has a good rest. Back to you, Brian.
Well, I hope he brought enough entertainment along and has enough minutes on his cell phone or time on his StarLink to get through the waylay here. Well, very good. Yeah, 40 degrees in that part of Florida. That is nippy. At least it's not down to freezing again, but that's temperatures that can drop iguanas out of a tree in a heartbeat. Also affects all those little sleepy creatures down there as well. I heard that this was giving them a great opportunity to get in there and start helping clean up the Everglades. Lived down in that area for many years, and glad to be gone. Well, good morning, Larry. I hope that your day goes well, and watch out for all the other crazies that you share the roadway with.
Yes, sir, will do. Not bad enough I have to drive myself, but I have to drive for everybody else around me. What time is that all nodes tonight?
Eastern time will be 9 p.m. Eastern, and that's on this node 51018. And yeah, it's focuses primarily, I would say, a lot of the conversation is around AllStar, but you'll also hear some conversations about IRLP, Echolink, even mesh nodes. So yeah, it's all anything node related.
Okay, thank you for that. Yeah, I'm crossed between three of them, like the Toads DI interface, because I have a G90, and but I do not have the the DE19 or whatever, and the DigiPower DigiRig. So I've got some questions. Try to get some good advice. Well, that's it. That's all I've got today. It's KJ5HHT 73. Back to you, Brian.
Well, I think that would be a great place to turn for answers, and yeah, we have a great group of people that turn out a real incredible knowledge base. So I heard most questions and very knowledgeable replies. So good luck on that. Be safe, my friend. KJ5HHT AI6US Coffee Break Net. And let's check in with Jeff now, KO6MMI. Good morning, Jeff.
Good morning, Brian. Good morning to the net. Sorry about the delay there. I was elbow deep into dishes to finish my Monday morning. I also wanted to offer condolences to the people affected by Ray's death here on the net, especially his family. One thing I just wanted to put out there is that I think when someone of a community passes, if each remaining individual of that community kind of takes one piece of something they liked, or something they enjoyed, or something that affected them from that person, they take that along with them in life. That person will keep affecting others in a positive light, and I think that's something that we should all try and do with all those people in our lives. Yeah.
Absolutely. As many cultures believe that as long as the person remains in the memories, they never die. And absolutely, I like that. Take the best attribute that you recall and carry it forward. Yeah, good enough there, Jeff. Well, I'm glad that we got your hands out of the dishwater and got you an opportunity to peel off those big yellow rubber gloves that were up to your elbows.
Yeah, it's you get that big mountain of dishes. We have an old house with no room for an actual modern dishwasher, so I am the dishwasher operating on the food that the dish is made. So it's kind of cyclical, kind of funny. Nothing much else to say except thank you for letting me be on here with you guys. It's a pleasure. I wish you a happy day, happy Monday. I hope it starts a great week for you all. Wishing you all the best here from East Roseville in another suburb of Sacramento, California. KO6 MMI or Kilo Ocean 6, Mike India, out.
Jeff, I fought with my call sign many times when I do a contest or something. I just start with phonetics. Alpha India 6 Uniform Sierra. Otherwise, I'm, was that uniform, was that UF? Was that, yeah, I understand. Phonetics will be your friend. Well, you have a wonderful day, and I'll just share with you that, yeah, we do have a dishwasher, and Lynn prefers to still do dishes by hand. She says, the dishwasher does a great job, but I do a better job. KO6MMI, AI6US 73. Good morning, Coffee Break Net on the W6EK Repeater. Let's go ahead and take regular check-ins. If you're short on time, you can only say hello. Let me know that you want to be a quick in and out. I will put you at the top of the list. Good morning. Taking check-ins. Coffee Break Net.
Good morning, Brian. Kilo Golf 6, November Lima Whiskey, in and out.
And WB6BJN. Good morning there, Brian.
KO6TH, good morning.
KI6RT.
Sierra Mike 6, X-Ray Golf Papa 4, in and out.
And I think November Victor 4 Tango wants to leave us. Friends don't let friends, DTMF. N6 PPP, good morning. I saw you come up on Supermon, but did not hear you. In and out, or going to hang around for some rank chew? Okay, let me just, in V4 Tango, you keep keying up. You want us to drop your node for you? It looks like you're having some problems maybe trying to get out of here. Yeah, if you could, I'm having trouble with my node. All right, friends don't let friends, DTMF. I have a t-shirt that actually says that. You are disconnected, sir. Have a wonderful day. 7-3. See, that's what wonderful people we are around here. We will drop you if you want us to. N6PPP, good morning. Were you checking in for the log, or, excuse me, for a quick in and out, or are you going to do some rag chew?
Good morning. My apologies. I don't know what was going on my end, or if I was getting run over there. Just checking in and out, N6PPP. Everyone enjoy your day.
All righty. We will take that as your in and out check in there. Thanks for stopping by today. And let's see, I got SM6XGP. Tony, I have you for in and out, so we'll be back to you. And I have Frank, KG6 in LW as in and out. We'll be right back to you. This is who I heard, KI6RT. Good morning, John. KO6TH. Good morning, Greg. WB6BJN. Good morning, Mark. And good morning to Dave, K6DCL. And good morning to Daniel, N9MUF. Were any of you other gentlemen in and outs?
6 DCL.
6 in and out. All right, I add Dave as an in and out, K6DCL, and there's another station for in and out.
Whiskey 60, Oscar Mike.
KI6RT. All right, got you there, John. KI6RT for in and out, and Charlie adds himself to the list as in and out, W6SOM. All right, let's check in with in and outs, and then we'll get into some regular rag chew. So up at the top of the list, Frank, KG6 in LW. Good morning. Anything for the net this morning, sir?
Good morning, Brian and Net. My condolences to Christina and Thomas and Ray's son. That is, I saw the post yesterday and heard about it this morning. That is no fun. I only talked to Ray a couple times, but lovable, absolutely. Let's see here. There's that. W6EK Coffee Break Net is on YouTube. For those that are interested, if you miss it, you can get to the radio or the All-Star or the Echolink. You can go back and see what you might have missed out on. So that's up there on my YouTube, KG6NLW. And that's about it for me, Brian. It's chilly here in Klamath this morning, but, it's still winter. So it's going to stay chilly for a bit. I hope you are doing well, and I hope you have a great week. And thank you for all the back and forth coordination with me here, trying to make this as smooth as I can for the YouTube side. AI6US, you have a great day. Coffee Break Net, you do the same. KG6NLW.
All right, Frank. Well, thank you for dropping by this morning, and appreciate what you're doing there, live streaming and archiving. So that's pretty darn awesome. KG6NLW, enjoying a brisk morning up in Klamath Falls, Oregon. All right, next on the list for in and out, K6DCL. Good morning, Dave.
Hey, good morning, Brian, and of course all of everybody on the Coffee Break Net. I was on yesterday, so I heard your announcement about Ray, and I started to say something when it was my turn, and I choked up. I just started to cry, and I listened to Ray every day at least that I was on, and he was some operator. So to Christine and Thomas, my condolences
But other than that, we're doing good. I'm going to sell a ICOM 705. I just can't deal with low power, and but not out here and out with my antenna conditions. So anyway, I'm selling the ICOM 705, and I'm probably going to get a Yaesu this time. Anyway, and that's it. K6DCL. See you later, and Brian, and take it easy. I'll see you tomorrow. K6DCL.
It's funny, I always joke with people, if you buy a QRP, you're always going to be a QRP, but if you get a full power radio, you can always dial back the power. Yeah, the 705, very nice radio, but it definitely has its place. And quickly, before I let you go, are you going to go with that FT1, what is it, Maxima or whatever, the one that has the, it's a QRP front end, but it has the amp on it?
Oh, I'm thinking about the FTX. I'm not sure about the designator, but the 10 or the one down from that. That's on sale now. I'm not sure, but I'll probably go with the FTX 10.
I have a DX10, and when it comes out of the Pelican case once or twice a year, I love it. But it's a great radio. The only thing I have against it is my fingers do not fit to the little button between the VFO, and they have these buttons to the left side that are just tighter than heck. So I push it with a pencil eraser. So give one a try. You know, and the FT710, its little brother, people speak very highly of it as well. A little more spacious button layout. But I have the DX10. I like it. And I find that most of my operation, I don't need to hit that button anyway, but it's a... Have a great day, Dave. K6DCL, AI6US, good morning to Lucy, and do have a wonderful day.
Information, Brian. I got pretty big fingers, too. But I also have many different things for... laptops and tablets, and I can push it with K6DCL. See you later. Thanks for the feedback. See you later.
You have a wonderful day. Clearing with K6DCL. Let's head over to Sweden now. Good evening, Tony. SM6XGP.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. SM6XGP. From rainy Gothenburg today, the weather has shifted over to rain and +1, +2 degrees Celsius. I don't know if that's around 32, 33 or something in your temperature scale. And the snow is melting away a little bit slow, but it do. And to the weather pattern over here. Maybe we can get some more cold weather if it wants to, but I think we are nearly beginning of March. Yeah, we will see some spring over here. Other than that, nothing special going on. I have updated all my virtual machines to Debian 13, so my DV switch and AllStar nodes and Echolink nodes and all that crazy stuff is now updated, running on newer operating system. And yeah, some of the things I'm fiddling around with over here. And now I'm over in the kitchen and thinking of what should I have for dinner today. Back to you, Brian. AI6US SM6XGP.
Oh, I'm also leery to do OS updates. You know, will it break a driver? What will I have to reinstall? And yeah, for Windows, that is can be a nightmare, especially if you have it on hold really takes a toll on the drivers. Tony, good evening to you. I hope you find something delicious in the cabinet there, and you have a wonderful day, evening ahead. Staying dry and listening to the rain beat on the window from the inside. You have a wonderful day, Tony.
Yeah, you are 100% right about the updates, but in this case, it's virtual machines. I have backup of them, so if anything crashes, can very, very easy. So, but all things went correctly. The DV switch server works perfect. ESM free runs perfect now on Debian 13. And I hear you talking from the other room on that node. So that works fine. And the 6-link node also works fine on. So I'm happy and the system working. And now I have to look for some, don't know what I will get. Maybe some pie or something. Maybe some. Yeah, we will see what I can find here. Have a nice day over there. Stay safe and that.
Well, if you're not in the market to half buy any hardware right now, now is definitely not the time to do it. Unbelievable prices on computer hardware right now because of the memory shortage. Who would have thought that the machines taking over the world would take our computer memory first? I thought it would be after our brains. That's next, I guess. Good evening to you there, Tony, over in Sweden. Thanks for checking in, as always. SM6XGP, AI6US. Clearing with Tony. And good morning, John, KI6RT.
Hey, good morning, Brian in the net. Just sitting here looking at the weather. Kind of looking forward to what Mark has to say. I'm supposed to hop on a plane and head out to Philly tomorrow, but I'm not sure it's a good day to go east.
Wow, if you can make it to your destination east, all the airplane shuffle that they do around these storms, you just wonder how long, if you make it there, how long you're going to stay to get everything straightened out.
Yep, that's what I was thinking about too. I mean, first of all, there's like 5,000 flight cancellations. That's going to take a while for that backlog to get cleared. And then I'm hoping to get in on Tuesday and fly back on Wednesday. That's going to be a long shot, given cancellations and the musical chairs going on.
Yeah, I think I would just say, hey guys, I'm going to be on Zoom for this one. Well, I think definitely wish you well, or take a lot of batteries and good books with you, and something comfortable to sleep in. Seems like accommodations around the airport are kind of hard to find in some locations. Good morning to you, and let's see, I think you just returned home from a nice vacation somewhere, as I recall.
Yes, I did. I came back from Hawaii. That was a good trip. Got some golf in, got some, ATVing in, got some, anything to do with the ocean in, a little surfing, a little snorkeling. One funny thing on the ATV just flashed through my brain is we're blasting through the hills, and all of a sudden a bunch of wild pigs cross our path. It's like should have brought something to shoot them with.
Though I understand sometimes the wild pigs are not very good to eat. I guess depends, what they mange on. But yeah, so did they look at you and run, or look at you and charge?
These things look at people and run, and they eat a lot of the native fruit. So they're actually, the locals say they're actually pretty good eating. But, you know, if you bury a pig in the ground and leave it there all day, I guess it tastes the same at the end.
Just wrap it really good in banana leaves before you bury it. Well, very good. Well, welcome home, and make your decisions carefully. I don't want to hear of any regrets of sleeping in an airport overnight. But you have a wonderful day, John. Good to hear you in this morning.
Yep, same to you, Brian. Thanks for running the net, and good morning, everyone. I look forward to hearing about Greg's sailing adventures and what the prognosticator will say about the weather. KI6RT, back to that.
Well, you know, the great news is Greg got the boat off the dock, and now he's working. He's putting an awful lot of work into that boat, so he's definitely reflecting boat ownership as I remember it. Have a great day, John. AI6RT, AI6US. Let's see, the last check-in for our in and outs will be Charlie, W6SOM. Good morning, Charlie.
Good morning to you, Net, Whiskey 60 Oscar Mike. I was in before, I just kept evidently doubling with everybody else, so I just thought I'd end myself at the end. But I just wanted to say hi to everybody on the net. That's it. Back to you.
Well, I'm glad you decided to hang around and get your call sign in this morning. You have a wonderful week ahead. How did the tool time with the kids go this weekend?
I'm sorry, having trouble with my radio. No, it went great. My youngest son decided there was a desk in their room, and they tore it apart, and then he decided he wanted a case for his Nerf gun. So he took the pieces, put it back together, and made himself a little cabinet without any prompting or direction. So now he's painting it. So it's going really good for him. So I'm really proud of him.
Boy, that is a dad moment, absolutely, to see your kids kind of take on projects like that and take it on themselves. How cool. Proud dad. You have a wonderful day ahead.
7-3, Whiskey 60, Oscar Mike.
Yeah, it's so great to see kids start taking projects on their own and the good things that they learn from us. Not the bad things. In 9, MUF. Good morning, Daniel.
Good morning in the net. It's been a good morning so far. The only problem with it is I've been down to my chair. Someone has crawled inside my flannel shirt and is trying to crawl up the sleeve and is showing no signs of movement except further snuggling.
So this means no POTA today, no unnecessary movement. You need to stay locked in position until this little critter decides to release you, huh?
It has been made clear to me that I am supportive furniture today, and that shall be my role, which also eliminates any CW, since with how she's got my arm locked down, the key is just a little out of reach. And I think right now, with the mood she's in, she'd be trying to join in, and as I moved my hand with the key, she'd be looking at it as if it was a mouse she wanted to bite.
I think it was probably 6 or 7 years ago at our club picnic in I2U, now Silent Key. Al brought a very interesting straight key. It was a foot device made out of 2x4s, and you activate it by stomping on I think it was probably about a 2 or 3 foot piece of plywood, or excuse me, of a 2x4. So maybe you need to get one of those devices to stomp on.
That might actually work. No, it wouldn't be a POTA today anyway. We've got snow. It's about 20 degrees out there right now. So not exactly the here, let me go out and spend an entire day outside with the POTA kind of weather. And given the snow, I like my electronics dry.
You're a fair weather POTA guy. I get it. No, I'm just kidding. Wise decision.
And I'll join with everyone else. Ray is absolutely going to be missed. I had talked about how great the net was in terms of checking up on him with my family and friends Saturday night, just, how that's the spirit of amateur radio. And the other side of that is, I guess, is in the spirit of amateur radio. Ray, we're going to miss you.
Yes, indeed, and I'll just throw it out there one more time. If anybody wants to send a card or a remembrance to Christina, her call is Alpha Kilo 6 Delta Uniform, AK6DU, and she is good on QRZ. So anybody so inclined to drop a card for her and the family, definitely. Yeah, he will be missed, and we know what he thought of his daughter Christina.
There was absolutely no mistaking that. I could feel it from here. Of course, never met Ray in person, but was absolutely aware of that. So, yeah, no, the plans, the classes went well. Yesterday was busy, of course, so today is my day of rest. I'll be catching up on some amateur radio stuff that I want to kind of wrap up, dot some I's, cross some T's there. A couple of small needfuls that I need to take care of, and generally trying to find out what this sitting and breathing thing is all about. Of course, again, it helps that certain floor weasels are insisting I don't move.
Now, I'll assure you that resting and breathing is not overrated. Well, excellent. Well, have a wonderful day ahead, Daniel, and I think you're doing the wise thing staying on the inside of the door and prepping for the next POTA adventure. But hey, hard to believe that last week at this time you were probably sitting in a park in the sunshine in short sleeves, and today back to winter. Have a wonderful day, Daniel, and thanks for checking in this morning. N9 MUFAI 6US.
It's always a pleasure. This net is very much a part of my day. I guess the other thing is I'll hopefully get some curling in. It's all recorded, and it's funny how every 4 years I have a few Americans trying to instruct me on how amazing this sport of curling is, and did I know about it? I have to explain to them that I grew up in Alberta, and oh yes, I'm very aware of curling. Both curling and hockey are dear to my heart. I'll admit I was rooting for the Canadians in the final yesterday. Almost got in trouble in church watching it, the game on my music stand, but it was worth it. 7-3 to you in the net, Brian, N9MUF.
So what was the tell that you were watching the game when you would stand up and cheer and dance and do 360s and sit down in the middle of prayer?
The drummer and the double bass player watching over my shoulder gave it away.
The big old patch. Well, Daniel, you have a wonderful day. Yes, today is National Curling Day. Curling is Cool Day. And I did not know this. It is one of the world's oldest team sports. But, rolling stones on ice, it just makes sense that, that was probably around a long time before bowling alleys existed. WB6BJN is up next. Good morning to you there, Mark. What do you have for the net this morning?
Hey, good morning. Good morning there, Brian. WB6BJN in Clarksville, Tennessee. It's snowing here. It's been snowing all morning. And we'll talk talk about why that is. It's all a part of what's going on in the east. And we're on the western flank of it. And so are most of the people who are west of where it's taking place, because it is responsible for the colder weather. But let's talk. I hope you're doing good. And I've got to pause and say, wow, I am really sorry to hear about what happened to Ray. I'm almost like Dave. It just about made me cry. It really, he was quite a guy here. Just listening to him on the radio, and he's going to be missed. He was quite a fixture up here, and that just blew me away. And my condolences, Brian, go to Christina and Thomas there. Go ahead.
Yeah, I had a chance to talk with Christina on Saturday. I dropped off the keys for her, and her brother Steve were over at Ray's house, so I dropped by to give her the keys. And Saturday morning, she was saying, he's resting and not much for conversation, but he's just resting right now, and had no idea that same day he would pass. And it just kind of looked like he was safe, he was resting, family was gathering, and the really big surprise when that news came in yesterday morning. And he will be missed. And a lot of people don't know this, but he kind of operated behind the scenes for the repeater crew, and we had given him access so he could see what was going on with the systems, and he was given that authorization to remove people, jamming stations and such, and notify us if there were any problems. So he was a big part of our monitoring system here, and kind of overseeing on the repeater as well. But yeah, he was that fixture that was always at every net, and usually the first one to check in. So he will be missed, absolutely.
Yes, he absolutely will. Wow, because I really enjoyed listening to Ray and when he was on. Oh, wow. Hey, other than that, I'm having a good week, starting off good. It's been snowing here this morning. But let's talk about California. California is and Daniel, there in Illinois, things are going to get better. I think it's going to warm up around midweek. There is another system coming that could bring you guys some more snow, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But it looks a little warmer for everybody. It's really going to try to be spring in California. This next system, which is an atmospheric river system, Brian, for you guys, is being affected, though, by a high-pressure area that's down in Baja. And what's happening is what started to be quite a rain producer all the way from Southern California northward and eastward into Southern California, not so much anymore. The system, the strong system is retrograding westward and kind of northward because the high pressure area that's over Baja is actually starting to pull that storm track further north. And so the heavier rain is now progressed to the northern Sacramento Valley. There will be some rain further south as far as south as Modesto, Stockton, maybe down to Merced, maybe Fresno, but even they're saying those rain chances are lowering. And I noticed this morning, even for the northern San Joaquin Valley, they're starting to lower. and the window has shrunk to where the heaviest rain, if it rains, is going to be tomorrow and Wednesday. And by Thursday, that high starts to rebuild over Baja, and it really starts to rebuild northward to where a lot of northern California is going to be out of the rain by Thursday, and Friday, Thursday and Friday for a lot of the area, and they're talking 70s in the valley. So this system is tropical from the standpoint that it's going to bring snow levels that could be 8,000 feet, and that's where the warm air kind of locks in, and also the high pressure building back in is going to lock it in to being warmer. So. And let me take a break. Meteorological spring starts on Sunday, and daylight savings time, where we spring the clocks forward, is the next weekend. And once that happens, then I can go back to being at the bottom of the list, because 1,700 hours will come later for my other net. So that'll be good for the net here too. But it's cold back here, and I'm, but it looks like things are trying to be spring, especially out west right now. Brian, I'll turn it back to you for any comments, and then we'll talk about the rest of the nation there. Go ahead.
Yeah, no comments from me. I'm enjoying this typical weather for February. You never know what you're going to get, but we know there's an end in sight.
As I told somebody the other day, they were complaining about it being too cold. I said, in 3 or 4 months, everybody's going to be complaining that it's too hot. And that's what happens. Of course, there are those exceptions of people who like really hot weather. I don't. If it could be spring and 75 degrees the year round, I think that would be okay. Although that would get boring to me after a while too, and you know that as well as I do. I'd be complaining that it's too nice all the time, and I'd have to find some exciting weather. The other day it was 76 degrees here, and this morning it's been snowing. In fact, I think it's snowing right now. Let's see, my temperature is 30.4, 8.3 on the barometer and steady, so that's real high. 22.5 degrees, and it feels like 11 right now. And the other day, it was in the 70s at this hour. And right now it's 22 and feels like 11. 67% on the humidity. 8.7 gusting to 18. 8 gusting to 18 from the north. And no rain, but I don't think the snow, it's been snowing so lightly it's not even hardly on the ground. But we are getting, Sarah says there's flakes coming down. So there you go, and I can hear the wind chimes ringing out in the back. So what's going to happen is the Arctic air mass moves over us tonight. We get a low of about 21. Tomorrow, today it's going to be 35 here. Much of the Midwest has some snow. Let me take a break.
Good morning. The time is now.
The Midwest has some snow, and then starting tomorrow, it starts to warm up, and it jumps to 52 degrees here, jumps into the 60s by Wednesday, and our low tomorrow night is going to be in the 40s. It's going to go from 21 tonight to 41 tomorrow night, and probably into the upper 40s and 50s, and then we could actually get thunderstorms and warmer weather by the middle and end of the week, but some more lake effect snow in the Midwest. And I don't know about flight cancellations in the east, but I do know today they're expecting another 4 or 5 inches of snow in New York, and I think they've had over a foot. It's just crazy. That low pressure area that went through the east was what we call a bombing low pressure area, bombosis. Bombogenesis. The pressure dropped, get this, 30 millibars in less than 24 hours. That is huge. 30 millibars in 24 hours. And for a bombing cyclone, it takes only 24 millibars in 24 hours. So it surpassed that. Absolutely crazy. Snows in New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania. Crazy, crazy stuff. Back to you there, Brian, WB6BJN.
Well, the update so far to this hour since midnight, 5,000, well, almost 6,000, 5,800 flights as of 2 hours ago. So almost 6,000 flights canceled since midnight. So it's going to be a mess, that is for sure. Well, yes, I'm glad that this weather can keep you entertained, because predictable weather, if you lived in Hawaii, you just wouldn't have much to talk about now, would you? A couple times a year you would, but that's about it. Good morning to you, and good morning to Sarah, and thanks for dropping by with the weather today, and I hope you have a great week ahead.
Thanks, Brian. Appreciate that. And yeah, I'll get out of your hair because it's my net's coming up. But thank you for getting me in there, and I'll let you get on with others. And from Sarah and I to everyone, have a blessed day, and we'll be back tomorrow. Thank you, Brian. And everybody have a beautiful day. WB6BJ.
All right, Mark, you have a wonderful day ahead. We'll catch up with you probably tomorrow, and hopefully we'll have some better news for those people along the East Coast. WB6BJN, AI6US. And good morning, Greg, KO6TH.
Good morning, Brian. Good morning to the net. Greg, KO6TH. Not a boat day today. I was thinking about going down, but I'm going to go down on Thursday, I think, and check to make sure it's still floating after all the storms. I expect it probably is. But just to get doing some cleanup on it. It's beyond time. I gotta get in the habit of doing that. So today instead is going to be a shopping run. Maybe tomorrow. I don't know. Today, while it's still dry out, I've got some yard work to take care of, so be doing that. And other than that, just kind of hanging out. Today being what was it, curling day? Happy curling day, something like that. I guess, I saw a video on the history of the sport. Sounds interesting. Still don't quite get it, but I guess I get it. It's shuffleboard on ice, and so okay. I guess shuffleboard is a derivation of it, maybe. I don't know. KO6TH, back to you.
Well, of course, the interesting thing is that the people in front of the stone can do redirects by the type of cleaning that they do. Kind of quite interesting to watch. I've never done it myself, never even tried, but it certainly looks interesting. Well, Greg, yes, welcome to the typical days of boat ownership. Do you have a low pressure or medium pressure pressure washer nice battery-powered ones now, and I thought, boy, I wish I had one of those when I owned a boat.
Yeah, I don't. The prior owner does. He says his boat is now a couple slips down from mine, so they're not neighbors. But when they were, he was cleaning his boat with one and saw a little bit of something online that needed some cleaning, and he just kind of aimed over, missed his boat and washed off some of mine. So that was nice. But he also disclosed that they don't like people doing that in the marina. Apparently, it removes enough stuff that it kind of makes a mess of things, or can make a mess of things in the harbor. So they discourage that. So I was just going to use a brush, and I'm hoping they don't mind a little bit of OxyClean or something, some kind of a bleachy kind of stuff to stop the bowl from growing. We talked about that already, but anyway, so I have an email going off to the guy who runs the place, the I don't know, manager or whatever his name is, Jason, and asking what's preferred and allowed terms of cleaning products, and we'll see what he says. But yeah, it's basically just need to get the brush out, and I removed some bird droppings. There's a guy that has a boat over in I'm on dock B. He's on A, but we kind of face each other. And he kind of flagged me down last time I was down there. Says, "Hey, what is that bird that keeps there's some kind of species of seabird, whatever it was, brought their food up into his cockpit and ate it there, leaving the entrails and shells and everything else behind. Made a big mess of his things. I don't know what it was, fortunately, where they weren't making a dinner in my boat, but yeah, he's got a mess over there. KO6TH, back to you.
Oh, the joys. Oh, the joys. Yes, I would often, especially when I owned a sailboat, you had very good perches for birds to, use as platforms. Well, yes, the thing about you need to be really careful about pressure washers. I'm sure you received this advice already. There is such a thing as being a little too aggressive with the pressure washer. Of course, when you're around the woodwork, but even with the gel coat, you can damage a gel coat. So, yeah, a good medium pressure. I would use medium to low personally myself when I would do it. But it's certainly, especially if you got a nice swirl pattern on it, something that will just kind of bring things up and just a little more aggressive than just a hose. So good luck, and definitely share with us what your marina allows as far as cleaning products and such. That would be interesting. KO6TH, AI6US. Have a great day, 7-3.
Will do, Brian. Still learning, always learning. Keeps the mind active and keeps you vertical. Anyway, on with that, I'll report back next week what I come up with. So in the meantime, everybody stay dry and stay warm and have some fun. KO6TH 73.
Good morning. Welcome to the Coffee Break Net on the W6EK Repeater. A couple weeks ago we were having a series of dad jokes. I guess this one would be a mom joke. My husband has been missing for a week now. The police said to prepare for the worst. So I had to go down to Goodwill and get all of his clothes back. Good morning. Coffee Break Net on the W6EK Repeater. Let's go ahead and take some quick in and outs as you start your day.
W2BX. Kilo November 6, November Uniform, Foxtrot. Good morning, Brian.
NM6H, good morning.
KD6QH, in and out.
KO6 MJL, in and out.
might have been a few stations that I didn't hear, but this is who I heard. KO6MJL, good morning. We'll be back to you in a moment. Good morning to Peter, KB6QZH. For In and Out, we'll be back to you in a moment. And good morning, Tom, NN6H. We'll be back to you. And good morning to Joshua, KN6NUF. We'll be back to you in a moment. And up at the top of the list will be W2VX. Good morning to Doug. Did I miss anyone?
N5TIN.
All right, good morning, Steve, N5TIN, and we'll go with this list. Remember, these are quick in and outs. W2VX, good morning, Doug.
Good morning, Brian, and everybody else. What a beautiful day it is here in Neverland. Go up to the school where the old Alta Vista, and the last time I was there, Brian, the lady in the office said, "Hey, when are you guys from the radio club going to come in and tell us all about what you do in your radio club?" So we should probably get together and see if we can't come up with something we could present to those folks. I think there's potentially new ham radio operators there who don't know it yet.
Well, very good. Yeah, if you find out how long, what age group we might be presenting to, and how long we have, I think we could set something up that's a fun little. I've seen some very cool things where they set up two Morse code keyers, and the kids write their name on a piece of paper and decode it into CW, and then send it to each other. Yeah, we could do some fun stuff with them.
Yeah, that's kind of similar thoughts that I had. But, with the kids doing all that screen time, we might want to figure out some way to make it modern and old at the same time. But get all that out. I'll check in with them today. I'm going to stop up there and say hi, and I'll see if I can get a potential schedule, and what the age groups are. Anyway, that's kind of all I've got for the net. Hope everybody's going to have a safe and pleasant day, and I think I'm going to go for a bike ride. I say that almost every morning. Brian, back to you. 7-3. Everybody be there. W2VX, I'm clear.
All right, Doug. Yeah, absolutely. But the trouble is showing a kid a digital mode. It's like, okay, I can do that on my phone. Why do I need a radio? Interesting. But, whatever engages with them. Enjoy your bike ride, and we'll catch up with you later on in the day. W2VX, AI6US. And good morning, Joshua. Yes, indeed, I was referring to you with the mom joke, KN6NUF. Good morning.
Good morning, Brian. That was quite a funny one. I got another one for you. I was shopping at the store the other day, and I ran into one of my neighbors, and I told her that she's drawing her eyebrows too high on her face, and she looked surprised.
Ta-da. Good one. Definitely a dad joke. Well, good morning. And I don't know if I've chatted with you since you came back from your short vacay.
Yeah, I had a little bit of a brief time off the radio last week. I had to take in my laptop for service at the Apple store, and I'm about to pick it up this afternoon, so I'm actually working on the work computer calling in. But yeah, it was a crazy week at work. They did a bunch of changes. Now I'm part of engineering. My old team is completely gone. It was a bit weird. So yeah, I was just kind of focused on that kind of stuff for the week. KN6NUF.
Well, yeah, I'm glad to hear you're still employed, but yes, indeed, probably quite the shake-up, and the re-education process might begin. Well, welcome home, and glad to hear you had a great time, though. I saw a couple of posts that you'd made up. I think you went down to the John Muir Woods with the family, so it sounds like you had a fun time.
Yeah, we did John Muir Woods, and yeah, we're getting ready to start T-ball for Aurora today, so her first practice because it got rained out. And yeah, over the weekend I put an antenna on the roof for mesh core, so we'll have a repeater going here in Wheeland. Yeah, all sorts of little things going on, but yeah, I just haven't had a chance to get on the radio.
Very cool. We will look forward to your mesh core coming up. I am getting ready to order some of the stuff myself so I can put up a repeater for the Meta Vista area, and looking to see, what I want to, what kind of devices I want. So, yeah, Jeff, N5JEF gave a great overview presentation, which is now on the W6EK Sierra Foothills Amateur Radio Club YouTube channel, and he did a great overview. I definitely, I've watched it twice.
Yeah, I'll have to watch it. I had actually been building stuff for Meshtastic and things like that, so it was an easy transition for me to get over to Mesh Core. So I was already planning on putting up a antenna, but I just switched over to doing Mesh Core instead. But I found a solar panel that holds 6 18650 batteries, and so yeah, it'll stay solar powered all the time. It'll be able to go a week without sun. So yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Okay, is this a pre-built solar panel with how many 18650s?
It's a generic one that I found on Alibaba, and they're used for running field cameras for hunters, and so it has a variety of connectors or whatever. On the board itself has a pin out for doing 5 volt, and you can plug that directly into the Heltec Z3 by just making a little bridge cable, and it'll run 5 volts off the board. And so yeah, and then it has six 1850 batteries in it. So yeah, it does pretty good.
That makes a lot of sense. I've seen those solar panels for the field cameras, etc., or field cameras, and I never really thought of purposing them for that. So that's a nice form factor with those already built in and battery management and everything. Well, thanks, Joshua. Well, good luck to Aurora today as she starts T-ball, and you have a wonderful Monday.
Thank you, Brian. Everyone have a wonderful day. KN6NUS clear.
And that was a funny dad joke. Clearing with Joshua. And good morning, Tom, in N6H.
Good morning, Brian in the net. Yeah, this is Tom in N6H in Discovery Bay, where it's not as clear as it was yesterday. A little overcast, it looks like, but it should still be a great day. Yeah, that was a good presentation by Jeff on Mesh Core and Mesh and kind of the high-level view and stuff. But, when it comes down to it, I've played with, Meshtastic and all that stuff, and, what is the use case for it? And if you like to do texting, it's a great mechanism, but it doesn't seem to have a lot of use beyond that. I mean, texting is important, especially for e-com stuff and things, but I did find that it really being a versatile type of format.
And I don't know if my question at the end of that presentation made it into the cut. I didn't catch the ending of that YouTube video, but I asked the exact same question, and really it comes down to there are some very limited applications for it, but we're right at the beginning of the launch of Mesh Core. It is so inexpensive to get into, and so many of us are just into, well, that sounds fun, let's give it a try. And then I saw out of Hamcation, I think it was, or whatever happened last week, they were doing a demo of a store-forward voice application for Mesh Core. So there's just some interesting things. Other people have talked about using it for data reporting for different devices, etc. So, who knows what it will become, but at the price point for getting into it, and being part of a bigger community as it develops, to me, has some appeal.
Comment?
It's like kind of like shortwave radio, and I take it when I mention that is when I first got into radio and stuff, I got a shortwave radio. That's what got me into amateur radio. But I used to listen to see how far I could hear, and I think a lot of this niche core stuff, it's kind of limited in terms of range. But with all the repeating type of things that they can do and stuff, you can talk quite ways by just doing all the hops to different things. So I think people, at least the geeks, are probably involved with that, just seeing how far they can connect things and how far they can extend stuff. But my other comment that I was going to make, I actually make two more comments, but one was about curling, and I like curling. I recorded it on my YouTube TV and stuff. I have had a lot of times, where I can't fall asleep at night, and it is a great thing to turn on. I mean, it works just like that.
That's funny. That's good. The excitement of curling helps lull Tom to sleep. Joshua, you had a comment.
One of my nodes is going to be connected to a Raspberry Pi and attached to the local AI that I have for doing inquiries and things like that for information while local. So just another option that you can do. We were also exploring doing a message board implementation with the Raspberry Pi hooked up to Mesh Core. So you'll be able to message the repeater and have flash commands that you can do to get different information or things like that in theory. So one of the things we're working on here.
Okay, thank you for sharing that, a little more insight. And then also, just recently, there has been an announcement they are going to be releasing a peer-to-peer version, which will be on a different frequency set, and so it will do a flood function for peer-to-peer in case you want to use it for off-grid texting. You're in the middle of the forest and have no repeaters in the area. That was one thing that a lot of people felt they were giving up from Meshtastic, was that flood ability for off-grid texting and such. So it's kind of interesting. There's some interesting development going on. Back over to you, Tom.
Yeah, I think that in going forward, right now, I think it's pretty limited in terms of how much data can be passed, which is kind of what's causing some of the issues. It's not something where you can use it for video or for doing a lot of voice type of stuff, but being able to hook it up to things and have it report back data, like certain stuff, I think is probably good. And it'd be interesting. I definitely will play with it because I think it's kind of a geeky thing, and I think it'll be interesting to see what happens with it next. Going back to the curling thing, I don't know if anybody else has thought about this, but why is today National Curling Day after the Olympics are over? Are they not wanting people to watch? I mean, it seemed like it would be during the Olympics, right? I mean, then that would get people interested. To have it after everything is over with is kind of odd.
Well, since Winter Olympics only happen every 5 years, this is a annual thing. I don't know. Curling is a winter sport. We're still on the edge of winter, so maybe we're attaching the hobby to something that is not an annual thing. So yes, indeed. But hey, maybe this will prompt the replay. Go to your favorite platform and watch replays of curling from the Winter Olympics.
Yeah, I guess it's cheaper and it's probably more effective than taking sleeping pills. Anyway, I'm sure people really like curling. It's just I can't get into it. I want to say one thing. This is supposed to be a quick in and out, but I will say one thing that I thought was interesting, and it has to do with AI. So a totally different subject. But I was last night. I was watching the closing ceremony of the Olympics, and I was having a hard time understanding what was going on, and they had the announcers, in the background were kind of giving some commentary, and I couldn't hear the announcers on my video set. So I basically asked my Google AI, has other people been complaining about this? And they came back and said yes, they have, and that mainly it's because they built the sound for, at least on Peacock and on NBC, the sound was made such that people were having surround sound and were these center speakers and stuff, that it was optimized so that the voice would come through a center speaker, and it's, if you're watching it on a normal TV set, then it's probably getting lost with the background music, and then and anyway, they were going through some of this thing, and then it came back and it says, since you're an engineer, this is what you can do to improve it, and it gave me instructions to actually open up my on my TV set, to open up the equalizer and to increase the range of the 1K to 3K signals. So I thought that was interesting, in that you do it Google normally and you get maybe some answers, but it was very complete, and the solution actually worked quite well.
Yeah, the mix downs, that is very interesting that they optimized it for the people that had the maybe the higher than average. I mean, yes, we have a sound bar on one of our TVs, but we don't have surround, so I did not watch that last night, but I would have probably been in the same scenario as you. Interesting. I think that's a failure for the mix down. Failure to understand who your typical audience person is, but that is awesome. That very timely information, and absolutely correct information was provided to you. That's great. Thanks for that tidbit there.
Yeah, I just thought it was kind of an interesting, unique thing for AI. I mean, cause basically it had gone through, because I'd watched it, on the West Coast here, so it had already been played on the East Coast, and I guess people have posted to Reddit and stuff like that and complained. So it kind of gave me a little summary of what people complained about. Some people were complaining that the commentator, they said that the opening ceremony, the commentary was too loud, and people complained about that. So I guess they tried to do a different mix for the closing. But I thought it was interesting that it provided that information as well as a solution. So yeah, I thought I was quite impressed, and the information was pretty accurate there. Anyway, I know this is a long in and out, so I apologize. Anyway, thanks for doing that, and yeah, and Ray would definitely be missed here on the net and everywhere. It's just sad news about that. Anyway, AI6US and N6H.
Very, very interesting information about the positive things that AI can give us, and we have to realize that it's stealing all the memory, so we can't buy our own devices. So we're going to maybe lean more heavily on AI. It's part of the big machine takeover, Tom. Just kidding. Have a wonderful day, and yes, absolutely, Ray will be missed. NN6H, AI6US, and let's get with Peter now, KD6QZH. Good morning, Peter.
Good morning, Brian and Matt. Yeah, AI is really good. I use it, but you have to use it. And there was limitations too. For example, not everything it comes up with is correct. You have to tell it to use trusted resources or scholarly resources. For example, I was helping a friend of mine put together some historical information about a police department we used to work for in the Ross Valley area. And I thought, well, let me just see what, I knew most of the information, and so let me see what AI can do for me. So I asked the question, and it mentioned the first police chief, but it gave the wrong person. And I realized that because I had to job used to be my job back in the day. So I told it was wrong. Let me let it drop. KD6Q, the date's continuing. So it's right in here. Sorry, I'm multitasking, so let me run, but anyway, I told it to check scholarly resources, and I came up with the information. With that, I gotta run to work. KD6Q, getting off the Coffee Break Net. Thank you.
All right, Peter. Understand. Work calls. KD6QZH, AI6US. Yeah, absolutely. Direct it to use trusted resources. And, definitely not the first nor the last time that we'll probably hear of AI making up answers. I had asked AI some questions about a product that I developed and sell. And, yeah, it was handing out some pretty bogus stuff. So I hopefully saw something the other day that made me laugh. It says, that I'm less worried about the information that AI is giving me than who is training AI. Think about where they are getting their training from. Joe Bob with two teeth, maybe. Good morning, Jamie, KO6MJ. Good morning, happy Monday.
Happy morning, everybody in the net. I might have to get on the AI train and see if I can take on the casino and make me some money out there. Nothing much going on here. Just sitting in the cubicle listening to net, keeping it vertical. 73, everyone.
Interesting. Some of these AI systems definitely are aware of people using them to game systems, and it's quite interesting, what kind of responses it may have to your queries. Hopefully we won't have to send you a cake with a file in it to a jail somewhere. Hi. Jamie, you have a good Monday. Thanks for checking in. KO6MJL, AI6US, 73. Good morning, Steve. N5TIN.
N5TIN. Good morning, Brian. Quick note from me here. I was listening to the net on Friday and didn't disconnect my node when the net ended. Was very busy doing something, and so I just continued to listen for a bit. And I heard the concern about Ray, and was sad to hear this morning that he had passed away. And so I just real quickly wanted to give my condolences to everybody, not just the family, of course, but all those people who knew him, who I've heard this morning talk about him in such glowing terms with, a lot of affection, a lot of respect. I think that says a great deal about the community out there that you guys have, and kudos to all of you for that.
Yeah, Ray has been such a fixture on our repeater, and he just, it was so obvious that he wasn't present, and of course we had to act on it, and something just didn't feel right, and definitely did not expect this to be the outcome, but it's so wonderful though that Christina was able to spend some time with her dad. And certainly our condolences go out to her, Steve, and Thomas, and the other family members. But, we do have a wonderful community, and that community stretches out into the Coffee Break Net and goes beyond our region.
I'm blessed here that we've got some of the same kind of folks in our small ham radio group here in my small town. We have a few fellows who are up there in age. I guess technically I suppose I'm one of them, and they're very good about checking in on the other folks, and that's really great to have here. I really appreciate that a lot, and I know you guys appreciate that with each other as well. So I don't really have much else. I'll just with that say 73 and get on with my day and wish you all well. 73 everyone. AI6US and 5TIN.
Well, thank you for checking in this morning, Steve. And yeah, that was pretty tense moments there as we were checking in, and we had asked everybody just to stand by on the repeater because the radio, the repeater was very loud, and you know, it was could be heard throughout the house, and it you know, I just asked everybody just to stand by on the repeater for a few minutes until, you know, we could figure out if we could communicate with Ray through the door, and you know, I just think of that time where, you know, for several days he was probably listening to our chatter on the repeater, and you know, it kind of hurts my heart in a way. But glad that Christina and Thomas could be with him when he passed. Good morning, Steve. Thanks for checking in this morning. N5TIN AI6US Coffee Break Net 73. Good morning. Coffee Break Net on the W6EK Repeater at 9:37 Pacific Time. Just a reminder, this evening the All Nodes Net starts at 6 p.m. Pacific. That's 9 p.m. Eastern. If you are interested in any type of node, whether it be All-Star, Echolink, IRLP, maybe mesh node of some type, this net is for you. Every Monday evening, 6 p.m. Pacific, that's 9 p.m. Eastern, on node 51018, Echolink and connected nodes. Drop on in, whether you have a question or if you can be part of the knowledge base that helps others. The All Nodes Net, every Monday evening at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, here on W6EK Repeater and connected nodes. Hey, let's go ahead and take the check-ins. This is the Coffee Break Net. It's Monday morning, and let's see who else is out there this morning.
KA6UAI, in and out.
KB6ED. K4LGI. KB5VAO.
Good morning, David. KB5VAO. And good morning to Sam, K4LGI. Good morning, Ed, KB6ED. And good morning to Ron, KA6UAI. And good morning to, I believe I heard, did I hear Ryan in there, WU6H? Was that you, Ryan?
QSL.
Very good. So Ryan will be up on the list for check-ins here. Did I miss anyone? All right, let's check in with Ryan this morning, WU6H. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Brian in the net. I just turned the radio on, and so I just heard the news, and I'm saddened, very much so. Gonna miss his objectivity, mix in a little bit of snark, with all these fantastic stories, you know, Ed Chevron, and you name it, right? The phone company, and just mostly I'm gonna miss him. I was almost confident that it wouldn't go this way. I was like, okay, well, you're being taken care of by the best, and some things, sometimes your number's called.
Yeah, I had an opportunity Saturday afternoon to talk with Christina and Steve after they left the hospital, and they just indicated he was sleeping, communicating with the doctor, and that nothing really out of the ordinary for his health. That they already hadn't been working on for health conditions. Really nothing outside of that. But yeah, I did not expect that outcome either. And really a sad thing. And he will be missed. The stories of his time in the Middle East and working on repeater systems and just the knowledge of a lot of, especially old school technology, a lot of great information, real life information he brought into our conversations.
Oh, 100%. Absolutely. You always knew he was on the repeater, even if you didn't hear him check in for hours on end. Anyway, that's all I got. Thanks for listening. W6EK 73.
Indeed. Rest in peace, Ray. He certainly will be missed. Mr. Sunshine, a lovable curmudgeon, as some people have said, and I think, he said things as they were. He didn't sugarcoat things, but we certainly cared for him a lot, that is for sure. Ryan, you have a wonderful day. 6JI6. And good morning, Ron, KA6UAI.
KA6UAI. I had just gotten up to go tell the dog to stop barking, so I'm glad I was able to grab the mic. Anyway, I just wanted to say that it really does make me sad about Ray, and another unexpected thing, I guess. But the memory. I got to talk with him for maybe 15, 20 minutes at one time, and he's one of the people that I would have just loved to know better and sit down and have some long conversations with. I think that would have been so extremely interesting, but never got that chance. So he will be missed by me here on the net and other things on the frequency here. But I just wanted to say that, and really sorry to hear about that event. Anyway, I'll let you get back to the net. I'm going to continue working. KA6UAI.
Yeah, I made that announcement today because I did know that some people over the weekend, because of schedules and such, weren't able to, probably hadn't heard the news over the weekend. So, yes, indeed, a very interesting guy, brought a lot of real-world experiences, and, he was probably the #1 fan for the trivia, Friday night trivia. He was going to make sure that happened regardless of who was available to give trivia questions. But you have a wonderful day there, Ron, and you better pay some attention and love to those pups. Sounds like they are demanding it. KA6UAI, AI6US73. KB6ED. Good morning, Ed.
Good morning, Brian. Good morning to the net. I don't want to necessarily repeat the things that have been said about Ray, some wonderful things. I'm kind of new to the net relatively to the big picture, but sure grew to enjoy Ray. afternoon.
Sunshine, and now it looks like Mother Nature has different plans for us today.
Yeah, it's rather overcasty here, but warm enough that I'm going to have to go out and do some work in the garage, just sorting some more stuff. And then there's the getting ready for a trip to Sacramento. So Taco Tuesday tomorrow, and looking forward to catching up with my dad and on with that portion of my week. So, and looking forward to the Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday and Friday and on with the net. So I'll probably check in with you tomorrow. And hope you have a great afternoon. KV6ED 73.
All right, Ed. Well, you have a wonderful week ahead. Thanks for checking in this morning. And I did poke Ray a lot, and hopefully he that's a spam call. How did they get my number? I know I poked him a lot, and it was all in fun, and I hope that he always took it that way, because it was just I always try to be so chipper and upbeat, and it seemed like I had a counter personality. That you have a wonderful day. Thanks, Ed. KB6ED AI6US. And in a moment, I'm going to put a call out for Thomas here. I got a text from him that he's going to be by the radio here in a few minutes. K4LGI. Good morning, Sam.
Good morning, Brian, everybody in the net here from Denver. A very nice day. Cool, but still pretty nice. I was wondering, was he able to get to the door, and did you take him in the truck to the hospital?
No, I rang the doorbell, pounded on the door, and I thought I could hear a voice, but the folks were on the repeater, and the 2-meter radio was turned up loud in another room. So I came out to the truck and just asked everybody just to stand by for a few minutes, and everybody kindly stood by on the repeater. Went back over, and I could hear a voice, and it wasn't making much sense to me, and I couldn't. It was just a very weak mumbling, and so I verified that he was responding to me, and then we called for fire and ambulance and police. They arrived. The police, the fire department opened the door, and they did find an incident had happened probably on Wednesday, early in the day, probably on Wednesday, and this was on Friday, and so he probably had been on the floor, several days. So was able to just make contact with him as the ambulance folks took him away, and told him that we were thinking of him, and that I'd lock up his place, and was communicating with his daughter and son, and we would make sure everything was okay. So that was what went down on Friday, and so yes, that's kind of what got us to. I'm very surprised that he went silent key now, way too soon.
Thanks a lot, Brian, for info. Did they diagnose anything like a stroke, or did he fall or anything?
I don't know any of the details, and Thomas, his son-in-law, will be on here in a moment, and we'll just let them share whatever they have or wish to share. But it's just very unfortunate, and he will be missed. Back to you, Sam. K4LGI AI6US Coffee Break.
Thanks, Brian. It seems so unfair. I just had to inquire a little bit here and there. It's fortunate that he was able to be conscious that long, couple days or whatever. And it seems like there should be a recognition for outstanding service like that you perform on behalf of the net, ensuring its outreach at times that are very critical. So congratulations to volunteering and inquiring and helping out. It's certainly very important. Myself, I'm about 80, approaching 82 next week, and I'll probably be around for a while longer, but you never know. If I do disappear for a while, show up in New York, I will eventually be able to get back here on the net maybe, but we had people they don't want me around very much associated with this type of communist mess we talk about. I was checking the Wi-Fi today and noticed it was DHS drone Wi-Fi. I guess they were flying around looking for people outside maybe, and still active, but I didn't see the drone yet, but it was a Wi-Fi signal, very strong signal. So I'll bow out of this, and that's the respects for the situation here involving others that talked about. I heard about it on Saturday and Sunday, so I'm not sure if it's Saturday. I think it's Saturday morning, but it's definitely Sunday. We're talking to Jeff, and we talked about it briefly. And we certainly thank those who made very positive comments and see they feel the loss as well. This may not be understood by everybody, but everybody feels the loss quite a bit, and some more than others. So I'll keep it short here. Maybe Thomas and others who would like to be on here. K4LGI. See you later, Brian.
All right, Sam. That is the wonderful thing about this net. We start conversations, we get to know each other, we recognize routines, and I think of anything that this reminded me of was just the importance of knowing each other and sensing something is wrong, and then taking time out of our business life to care about others. And that's an important takeaway for me is don't ignore something when you feel that something isn't right. Sam, have a wonderful day. Thanks for checking in this morning, and we will look forward to celebrating your 82nd birthday with you next week. K4LGI AI6US 73. Hey, good morning, David. KB5 VAO. What do you have for the net this morning?
Good morning, Brian and the net. Not a lot. Just rolled out of bed a few minutes ago. Heard about Ray yesterday. Sorry to hear that. I didn't get to see him personally, but he will be missed. 7 KB5 VAO.
Well, I'm sure the family certainly appreciates the condolences and thoughts there. He was a fixture on the repeater and in our club. So he lived down here I think for about 5 years, and we got to know him well. And he brought a couple of new hams into the community, and definitely he will be missed. Thank you, David, for dropping by this morning. KB5 VAO AI6US Coffee Break Net. And let's see if Thomas, if you're getting into the repeater, KN6MJB. Good morning, Thomas. Let's do a short transmission. Make sure you're getting into the repeater.
All right, KN6MJB. How am I sounding?
Just a little white noise, but perfectly copyable. Hey, good morning. First of all, I just want to, on behalf of myself and others, just condolences to Christina, Steve, and you and the family. You might have heard some of the comments this morning, but Ray will be missed, and without him, we probably would not have met you and Christina. So thanks for dropping by this morning.
Oh, yeah. No, it's actually kind of funny. He, so I was already working on getting my ham license when he moved in with us because of the fire up in Oregon, and he kept pushing me to get my license, and I was already studying for it. I eventually got the TESTA, but it cracked me up because after being years in the EMS world, I am not radio shy. I am not clicker shy. I'm very happy. And so the day I got my call sign within 15 minutes of getting the email, somehow that grumpy old man figured out that I had gotten it about the same time I did and called me out on the Coffee Break Net before I had the chance to call in on my own. And it just made me laugh because he thought I was going to be trigger shy, and definitely was not.
And as we got to know you, it's obviously you are not trigger shy for push to talk. No, now that you and Christina have moved back to Tennessee, I'm glad that you were able to be out here and be with Ray as he passed. And our thoughts definitely go out to you. Some couple people have posted up memories on the Facebook page, and my biggest memory was that interaction of when Christina not only got her tech, but she got her tech general and extra in one sitting, and you guys kept it completely hidden from Ray. And that first check-in on the radio that you guys set up with Ray, and the confusion of, well, whose call sign are you using? Oh, that, if anybody wants to listen to that, Smitty posted up the audio recording of that on Facebook, and it is hilarious.
Oh, yeah, that was a lot of fun. It was really hard to keep it from him because, like I said, somehow he knew with me when I got my license, and so trying to keep that from him, from Christina, was just ridiculous, difficult, and funny. Because, he was just flabbergasted at it. I know Steven was trying to get his license back when he was younger, and his call sign's still available. So he was trying to get his license back, but didn't make it in time. I loved some of the comments about him being a grump, and he 1000% was a grump. He had this weird personality where, like, if you were to ask him about a setup or something like that, his number one response was usually, well, I mean, it's wrong, but it'll work, and then would support you in making it work. But he wanted you to know that everybody's entitled to their wrong opinion.
That does sound like Ray, absolutely. And he always approached it with humility in many ways. He let you know what he knew, but he let you know it wasn't book smart. He learned this in the world. And that was one thing, I always saw him kind of self-deprecate when it would come to knowledge, but he had an incredible knowledge base.
Well, what was funny about him was you wouldn't know it, but he was a teacher, and he didn't know how to teach, or at least he thought he didn't. He was the first one. Christina would talk about a time when he got a new barbecue when she was a little kid, and Christina showed interest in putting together the barbecue. So Ray gave her the tools and the box and said, all right, put it together. And, stayed with her to make sure she, didn't mess anything up or whatever, but gave her that opportunity to kind of experiment on it and try to, put it together on her own. And he was all about seeing that, light up of, oh, no, I made it work. I figured this out, even though he knew most times how to tell you, he could tell you, no, that's not going to work. You're going to do it this way, and it's going to work out. He never really wanted to tell you that. He wanted you to figure it out on your own, but he wouldn't let you go too far out. I mean, he'd let you fail, but he wouldn't let you fail that hard.
Yep. No, I certainly observed that about him, and definitely no doubt that he was proud of Christina and her accomplishments, and is certainly a source of much pride for him. Well, I don't know what more can be said about the situation other than I was so thankful that family could be with him, and that the Ham family came through and was able to make that happen for you and for Christina and Steve, and I, after talking to Christina on Saturday, I had no idea, that this would be the outcome. It's so sad. And Ray was one of those things that was just a known. Every time the repeater, a net would happen, or there was a check-in, Ray would be that first one. And he will be missed, absolutely.
Oh, yes, he will be very missed. Even sometimes when you're having too good of a day, you could always count on him to bring you down a couple notches. Just a little update. I don't know how much was shared over the net or anything, but he did go in his sleep, nice and calm. We're going to go to the hospital and find out more information, but from what the doctor had told us, he basically just kind of relaxed into it and went in peace. So, I mean, that's kind of the best that you can hope for. Although if you would have asked him, it would have been in a muscle car doing 200 miles an hour. That would have been the best that you could hope for, but can't always get that. Other than that, and Steven just got here, so I'm going to have to jump out because we got a lot of stuff to do. I just wanted to throw it out there. Christina and I, as soon as we get a better idea on everything, we're going to try to do some kind of get-together for the club sometime this week, or whoever can make it, just to see us and tell stories about all the times that Ray made us laugh with his grumpiness, probably at a brewery or something like that. So once we get that information, hope everybody that can make it can. If not, we understand. Everybody's got life. So I will say 73, and just want to throw out thank you so much to everybody in the club. We'll try to keep checking in as much as we can, but we got stuff to do.
Well, I don't know if you heard how we gave him a send-off, but instead of a moment of silence yesterday morning when I had the privilege to be, to announce his passing, instead of a moment of silence, we created a big kerfuffle, and that's what we invited everyone to do. And I think that's how he would have wanted the moment to be recognized, with a bold kerfuffle. Something just tells me that many times in his life he enjoyed a big old kerfuffle.
Oh, yes. There's one of the things him and Christina say all the time is there's people who thrive in chaos and people who thrive off of chaos, and somehow he managed both of those. So I'm sure he would have loved that. Anyways, I got to say 73, and like I said, we'll be trying to get on as often as we can. This is KN6, MJB, and we'll talk to everybody later.
Well, great. I had reached out to Smitty to see if we could arrange something with your schedule to kind of have an informal get-together. Glad to hear that was kind of a similar idea that you guys were having. And please do let us know and let Smitty know so we can get the word out there. And we would love to see you guys before you head back to Tennessee. And we would love to raise a toast to Ray. So thanks for dropping in. Please give Christina a big hug for us and let her know we are thinking of you guys, and we definitely our thoughts and prayers. I hate that combo now, definitely, but thoughts and prayers are going out to you guys in this time, and we recognize Ray for the wonderful curmudgeon that he was. Have a great day. Good morning. 7-3. Hey, good morning. Wonderful to have Thomas come in and just kind of give us an update from the family, and definitely thank you so much, Thomas. KN6MJB, I'm AI6US Coffee Break Net. Okay, with that, we're just going to wrap up this morning with some for the log. No more in and outs. We will just go directly into the log, get things wrapped up for today, and we will let everybody know on Facebook and Groups.io and here on the net if you're in the area and want to get together for kind of a celebration of life with Christina and Thomas. Maybe Steve will be there as well. We will be doing that. Good morning. Let's do For the Log. This is the Coffee Break Net on the W6EK Repeater, where the sun is always shining, the birds are singing, and the fish are jumping. For the Log, check-ins, please.
AI6LZ. W6 Mobile.
W6 Zulu Hotel.
Kilo 6 Victor Papa.
Papa KB7 DFP Cannon Twin Falls Mobile Chicken Noodle Soup.
KI6TC. KM6YKX. Whiskey Bravo 3, Charlie Sierra Yankee.
Okay, let's see. We, off of Supermon, I didn't hear you, but I saw, was that KB5VAO? Okay, maybe not. Good morning, Chris, in 6CTC. Chris, you are in the log. Thanks for checking in this morning. And good morning to Rick, WB3CSY. Happy Monday to you. You are in the log. Good morning, Rob, KM6YKX. Rob, you're in the log as well. Good morning to Glenn, KI6TC. Glenn, you are in the log. Thanks for checking in. Good morning, Chicken Noodle Soup, KB7DFP. Ken, have a wonderful day. K6VP, good morning, Dan. Got you in the log. Good morning to Chris, KJ6 Zulu Hotel. Got you in the log this morning. WU6X, good morning, Dennis. Got you in the log. And AI6LZ, good morning to Bert. Got you in the log as well. There were several stations that I missed. Who did I miss? I could not make, there were 2 or 3 stations who doubled in there. Yeah, I don't know how to narrow it down. Let's spread it out. Give it a try again, please.
N1YCN, Mike. Kilo Mike 6, Mike.
Hey, good morning, Mike, KM6MM, and good morning, Mike, N1YCN. Those Mikes. All right, anyone else for the log? This is the Coffee Break Net.
KN6GPL Tyler.
6USH for the log.
All right, closing the net with KN6USH. Good morning there, Mike, and good morning to Tyler, KN6GPL. Well, everyone, have a wonderful Monday, and we'll catch you again tomorrow on the Coffee Break Net. We're here every day of the week, 7:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. Pacific time, and maybe we'll catch you this evening on the All Notes Net, which is 6 p.m. Pacific. That's 9 p.m. Eastern here on this repeater and connected nodes. This net is sponsored by the Foothills Amateur Radio Club, and we'll be back tomorrow morning. I'm Brian, AI6US, returning the W6EK repeater back to normal usage, whatever that may be. 7-3, everyone.